if I were to exchange you and Elton Brand, are you keeping that duo together with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons? You breaking them up? What are you doing?
Well, first of all, you've been fantastic on that subject, not just now, for a year.
Thanks,
Listen,
Simmons.
I sit them down and tell both of them, it's time for y'all to grow up. It's time for y'all to grow up and be professional. Herm Ebb was one of my favorite people in the world. He always says the word, and he emphasizes, this is professional sports. This is professional. If I'm Elton Brand, I send Ben down, and I said, Ben, I gave you $170 million, and people are still asking you in 3 or 4 or 5 years, can you shoot? I gave you $170 million. Can you answer the question one way or the other? I sit Joel Embiid down. I said, Joel, I gave you $170 million. Can you get in shape for me? I don't think those are unfair questions. And then I make my decision after that. I bring in a disciplinarian because both of those guys just walked all over Brett Brown. Brett Brown's a good man. He's a good coach. But they walked all over him. We should not be having all these questions 5 or 6 years into somebody's career. I'm going to put myself in this situation, and I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to. When I sit down with Billy Cunningham and Moses Malone, I said, why am I not getting to play? And they said to me, you fat and you lazy. It hurt. It hurt me a lot. But then I had to go to my condolences. Are they telling me the truth? And I lost 50 pounds and became a great player. Those two guys, they need Elton Brand and whoever they bring in as coach to sit them down and say, yo, Ben, I'm not sitting around 5 or 6 years into your career and asking, can you shoot? And Joel, I'm paying you all this money, man. Get your fat ass in shape. Right. So JWill, that's how I answer your question. Because if you trade those guys, you're not going to get anything for them that's going to make your team better. You got 2 all-stars. I think is better. And listen, let's get one thing straight. They're both terrific players, but they could be even better. I told Ben this. Ben, you can be an all-star the way you are now, but you can't ever be a superstar. And Joel's the same way. You can be an all-star, but you can't be a superstar until you get in shape. So that's how I would answer your question. I'd keep both of them.
Chuck, who's the perfect coach that's out there out of all the candidates that can get that exact thing done that you're talking about?
Man, you know what's interesting, Key? These coaches today are cowards. They're so afraid to coach their players. They're so afraid to step on toes. Listen, when I was growing up, coaches wasn't afraid of you. They're like, no, I might get fired, but I'm going to get fired my way. The coaches today are such cowards. And listen, the players make so much money. But I tell them, I talk to coaches all the time. And they're like, because I say, yo, man, you're going to get fired. You might as well get fired your way. You can't let the players tell you how to do things because you're going to get fired. So I'm not sure who I would hire. I would love to see them get a young guy who's going to hold them accountable because even Josh Richardson said, there's no accountability around this organization because he had been with the Miami Heat. And one thing I'm sure about the Miami Heat, Spoelstra and Pat Riley are going to hold you accountable. They're going to hold you accountable. And Josh Richardson said that. He says there's no accountability around him, which I live in Philly, so everybody knows that. So I don't know who's I would get a coach who's just going to hold those guys accountable, plain and simple.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.